Welcome to This Is My Circus, the podcast where we embrace the chaos and keep it real about parenting, pop culture, true crime, and the books we can't put down.
Because let's be honest, life is one big circus, and we're just trying to survive with caffeine, sarcasm, and a little true crime obsession.
So if you love unfiltered conversation, questionable parenting hacks, and deep dives into the things that keep us up at night, you're in the right place.
Buckle up, grab your popcorn, and let's get into the chaos.
I'm Stefanie.
I'm Meredith.
And welcome to This Is My Circus.
So, I lost my beep. Put a bleep in there. I lost it today.
Why?
Okay, so Jackson Hill had okay, let me start over. Jackson had a physical schedule today. You know, they have to have them and you have to upload them for sports and to all the things. Mm-hmm. Well, I had put it off because I didn't realize he was past due because I didn't get an email from his pediatrician. You know, all the things. Like, I depend on them to remind me when he's due. I'm terrible.
I know.
Yeah. Well, so I went online yesterday and scheduled an appointment for him today with his pediatrician. And, you know, they've got the CVS's or whatever, the minute clinics. And I was like, you know, I don't want to go and wait forever, like they say. So I'm going to schedule with his regular doctor, same practice that he's been seeing since he was born. Mm-hmm. So I scheduled it online. I checked in online. I paid the copay online. Like, I did all the things and we're set to go. So Jackson and I practiced today. I told him what time to be home so we could leave or go. Plenty of time. We get there in plenty of time, and I walk in and I'm like, I've got an appointment for Jackson Hill. And, you know, they start doing what was the name? And I'm like, oh God, you know, then, and they're like, what's his birth date? So I told them, and they're like, and who are you seeing? Like, you know, and you start to, at that point, they were like, we canceled your appointment and we left you a message. So apparently it was scheduled in the wrong spot. I just wanted his physical form filled out. So I put it in just like an office visit spot. Well, apparently it needed to be put in a different kind of spot. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you want this. I don't know.
There's not an option for it.
So it's like, I will just go somewhere else. I was like, Jackson, go to the car. And I was so mad. I was like, are you going to refund me? And they were like, yeah. And we left you messages yesterday. And I was like, no, you didn't. They were like, well, we emailed you through the portal. I was like, no, I check my email more than I check my phone. Yeah. I mean, like my voicemail. I was like, no, there's nothing. And I was like, forget it. We'll just go somewhere else. And, you know, it was like 200 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So Jackson had already marched to the car. And he's like, Mama. So I get in the car, turn it on, and we're sitting there for a second. He was like, what are we going to do? I said, I don't know. Give me a second. So I start Googling like urgent care because we have to get it done. Yeah. It was due like either the end of this week or last. So we got to get it done. And I checked all the portals and all the stuff. And I took screenshots of it. Jackson was like, what are you doing? I was like, there are no messages in here. He's like, Mama, let it go. So I called back in there and I was like, hey, I'm Meredith. Just had my kid. Really sorry. I said, but I just wanted you guys to know that we didn't receive any messages. I checked the portal. I have no voicemail. So I don't know if there's a system glitch. Because, I mean, sometimes stuff like that happens and facilities don't know until like somebody tells them.
Yeah.
So I was apologizing and really trying to be helpful. And she was like, okay, hold please. And I was like, okay. So I'm holding at the same time. I'm scheduling him an appointment for like a walk-in urgent care. And I was already dreading that. So she comes back and she's like, yeah, we sent you a message through the portal. And I was like,
I'm telling you, there's no message.
There's no message in the portal. I wanted to say, I've got the screenshots to prove it. She said, yeah, it says you didn't see it. I was like, there is no message in there. It's like, whatever, just letting you know. And I said, you know what, by the way, and I mentioned Jackson's doctor and I was like, we've been going to her since he was born. I bet if you would have asked her, she would have said, oh yeah, just let him come in. Did you even ask her? And I was like, never mind. So we ended up skirting down the road and went into this urgent care place. And
was it the place in York?
No, but we're a frequent flyer there too. It was on the way home from Gastonia. Okay. So we stopped at one on the way home. And went in and I had checked in online and done all the things online. And they're like, here's your, do you need us to do your paperwork? Whatever. And I was like, sure. They printed it, gave it to me like that. And usually urgent cares are, they're busy. And she was like, it'll be $25, which was less than I paid at the regular doctor. And I was like, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And she was like, okay, sat down, filled the forms out. Okay, come on back. Like I was like, angels are singing now.
Yeah.
And Jackson was like, are you better now? And I was like, I'm getting there. It was just the whole thing, right? So while Jackson and I are on this expedition and we get everything done, by the way, everything's good. Brian has taken his truck to get an oil change. Now, he took it to the same place where he had taken it before. It was a dealership. And they tried to sell him like $200 windshield wiper blades that you can get at Advance and put them on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian was upset with them for that. They're like, people come in here and depend on you to give them a fair price. And you're a dealership, so you should be more reputable, all the things. And Brian...
Did he get banned?
No. My easygoing husband, who, most people are going to be really shocked at this, he left them a bad Google review.
What?
Right. So he went there today because it's where he bought his truck. And again, you think that you're getting whatever. Well, they're like, the belt is questionable and about to break. And Brian's like, well, don't I have a warranty? It expired last week.
Are you kidding?
Last week it expired. And this is the same place he always takes it. So he's like, you're telling me that when I was here 2 or 3 months ago, there was nothing wrong with the belt when it was under warranty. But today you're telling me I need a $500 repair on something that my warranty expired days ago. Yep. So Brian took it. He was like, forget it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, it might break. He was like, I'll take my chances. He stopped at this place where we had taken vehicles before for mechanical things. They're like, no, that's max $200. So we've got to figure all the logistics to take it out.
Was it like,
I don't know. We got to take it tomorrow for them to work on it. So I'm telling Jackson when we're on the car on the way home, I'm like, I cannot wait to tell Daddy our experience about this whole doctor office thing. So quite the day in the Hill house, but we're going to make it.
So Dylan took my car to get an oil change.
Okay.
Because he's been taking my car back and forth to work in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want the truck so bad on gas.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, are you going anywhere today?
Right.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, babe, if you're going to take my car, it needs an oil change. You'll get an oil change before you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mom. I had a 50% off coupon.
Perfect.
And I was like, should be like $50. Gave him my card.
Right.
He leaves there and he's like, Mom, it was like $140. And I'm like, for what?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, they showed me your air filter and your air filter was like black. And I was like, okay, but how much was the air filter? Because the oil change after the coupon should be $50.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do we get to I mean, they're like $20.
Yeah.
The air filters.
Right.
Like if you get
and you can YouTube a video and do it yourself.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I just
but I appreciate him taking care of
you. Oh, me too. Yeah. And I was like, okay, it's fine, whatever. Just he's like, I got the receipt. Like, that's fine. I needed to get done, whatever. And so he got home and I was looking at, I said, well, that's fine, Dylan, don't worry about it. But for future, I said, they're always going to try to upcharge you and sell you stuff. I said, and if it needs it, we can just order it on either on Amazon or get it at AutoZone or whatever.
Right. Right.
It's not hard. I said, it's like $20.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I'll pay for it. I'm like, it's okay.
It's fine. It's life lesson.
Because in the future, I would just tell them to put it on the receipt of what they recommend and we can get it done anywhere else.
So many places are websites you can plug in. I've got a 2012 Kia or whatever.
And it'll pop everything up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So very similar situation. Tell Brian.
Okay. I'll tell him.
It's not just the dealers.
It's not just him. So we're going away this weekend for just a few days, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited.
I bet.
Did you have a good 4th?
Yeah, we went over to Tyler's mom's, Tyler's house. So we went over there, and they had some of their family there. I've known them.
Yeah.
Dylan was in kindergarten, so I've known them for years and years, and so it was nice. We
low key.
Yeah, just
hung out.
Mm-hmm.
They have a pool.
They do. Mm-hmm. So all the kids got in and Dylan had to work. So he didn't get there till like 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
As soon as he got there, I mean, all the kids were in the pool and Like,
having a good time.
It was like when they were like 5 again.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't feeling good I think I got dehydrated from cutting grass. I swear, Steph, I'm going to make it, but it's just going to be an effort. So Friday was like my first day off in I don't know how long. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of laid around. I didn't feel good. I was just a little like, I kept saying my head was like swimmy. And Jackson was like, I don't even know what that means, Mama. And I was like, just don't worry about it. But I was feeling better by the evening. And that there's a neighborhood right behind us. Not the one that you guys were at, but mm-hmm. the other side. And I was like, let's take the golf cart, Jackson, and go just ride around. And because he didn't go anywhere either. So they had fireworks everywhere in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. We were like heads on a swivel watching them all. Even at one point, like, they weren't the poppers, but it was like something that did like little sparks and stuff were like spinning around. They were throwing them at us on the golf cart and Jackson was like taking off. And it was just a whole thing. It was a lot of fun though. Uh-huh. But it was very low key for us too. Yeah. It was too flipping hot to do anything. It's hotter today.
My gosh, it's like 98 degrees.
It's miserable.
Yeah.
But feels like
it's going to be that way the rest of the week.
I know.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Well, speaking of 4th of July drama.
Yeah.
You see all this drama on TikTok?
No.
Oh my gosh. I'm on like drama talk, I guess. But so this is just like small town drama.
Yeah.
So I'm going to introduce the characters.
Okay.
So we have the bad guys, which is Stasia and Jake Hicks and Jake's mom, Melissa.
Okay.
And then Nicole, who was the guest at this party, which wasn't a party, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay. So Nicole is new to this town and her son's new best friend's mom invites her to this 4th of July party.
Okay.
It wasn't her 4th of July party, but she was a guest and, told the people, hey, I'm bringing so-and-so. It's my son's friend and his mom.
Okay.
This lady says, yeah, it's all good. You're invited. This girl, Nicole, makes this beautiful antipasto salad. I mean, like a step from her garden. I mean, it was just beautiful.
Okay.
Like, and I don't do like a lot of that stuff, but it was just so pretty. And she's like, I spent like $40 besides the stuff for my garden. So they get there, they go into the kitchen. She puts down the platter and she's like talking to whoever's in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Doesn't know whose house it is. Wasn't like, introduced to anybody. And, but they were like still in the kitchen. They hadn't made it outside yet. And so this dude walks by, like super attitude. And she was like, well, that was weird. And just continues to chat or whatever with whoever she was in the kitchen with. Well, this woman comes inside and she's like, we don't know who you are. And Jake is like flipping out that somebody in his house that he doesn't know is in there. It was his mom. He went outside and like threw a hissy fit and his mom comes inside.
Okay.
So she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know who like the home was. Like, I just, I came with so-and-so, whatever. She goes outside, introduces herself, like, super awkward, right? Like at this point now it's awkward. And everybody that was there, I guess all lives on this road. It's like one of those roads that like it's like all family.
Yeah.
Like it's in
compound.
It's in Virginia. No Southern hospitality on this road.
No.
But they're all giving her dirty looks as she's trying to introduce herself. And one person made some kind of like, yeah, welcome to the neighborhood. Now, see you later.
What?
Just super rude.
Hateful. Yeah.
And so she got so embarrassed, upset, and she got her kid and left. And she was like, no, I'm out of here. Yeah. So she goes onto TikTok and makes a TikTok about it. Okay. And she's got like a decent following on TikTok. Like she's got a good following.
Okay.
And Stassi, I think, is trying to have that kind of following, but doesn't. I mean, she's got a little bit of them, but like now she's got nothing.
Yeah.
So she goes on there, tells a story. Well, then this chick makes a rebuttal video. Thinking that she's like eating it, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
No, she basically confirmed everything that this girl, Nicole, had
already said.
But she was like, well, we didn't know who she was. And she was in her house and everybody must know, like, you don't want people that you don't know in your house. Well, then they show her house, right? And I'm thinking how this girl is so presenting so bougie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, you got nothing in that house just like to worry about.
Right. Nobody's stealing your stuff in this house. It wasn't a $1 million home.
No. So then this goes on, right? She takes down her video in like 2 hours because she got eaten up.
Yeah, good.
But of course, it's still out there because everybody stitched it.
Oh, yeah.
And
I can't believe I hadn't seen it.
Yeah. Well, then the mother-in-law gets on.
Okay.
And she is like dying on this hill that they did nothing wrong. Getting eaten up in the comments.
Yeah.
So it's like the entire world against these people. And it's like, this girl, Nicole, she's like homestead, just like super, like pure, nice.
Just trying to be friendly and show up with the stuff.
Well, now these people are trying to stick like the law. Like they are like, we are connected to the sheriff and we're connected to, and they're
what?
Exactly. Because they made themselves look bad.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh my God.
So now there's this Canadian chick who got invested and started to dig a little bit on Jake and his wife.
Okay.
And apparently there is like some super sketchy stuff with Jake and children.
Oh.
So back up that Jake calls Nicole after everything blew up and they were getting all this backlash and was like, well, we didn't know you were coming and we thought you were just dropping off your child and leaving. So you were okay. like that whole situation's weird, right? Like who just drops off their kid not knowing
anybody. Well, I've had a lot of people that have done that actually.
Yeah. But like this is the whole town. Like you don't.
Yeah. You're brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. That's crazy.
Right? So then, of course, somebody links it to the sheriff's page of that town, and all the comments on the post are like, why are people able to use the sheriff's department as their personal bulldogs? And they like tag the Stasia and Jake.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So it's crazy drama.
Yeah. All over, like, being buttheads to a new person.
Well, be nice, people.
I know. That's not Southern hospitality. You are in the South.
It is not. You mentioned gardening in there. I'm growing a vegetable garden. Did I tell you? Working on my vegetable garden.
How is it going?
My zucchini is out of this world. Everything else is getting there. I've got so much. Do you eat zucchini? I'll have to bring you some. I've got so much, and some of them are huge.
Yeah.
I'm talking as big as my arm.
Yeah.
So many zucchini. And I don't know if they just produce first.
Yeah.
But I've got little bitty cucumbers and little bitty peppers and stuff. So definitely bringing you some zucchini.
When we first moved here, we did a garden along our fence line.
Yeah.
And the first couple of years, I mean, it did amazing.
Yeah.
The zucchinis were ginormous.
Yes.
Like ginormous. And we had a party that year for, I don't know if it was a birthday or we just had like a pool party or something. Yeah. They're like, what is in your fertilizer? Like, what's in the ground? Like, dead bodies under there. But we did broccoli one year.
Oh, yeah.
So that didn't do so super great. And we got like a little bit, but it didn't like become like broccoli.
Yeah.
But our jalapenos.
Oh, yeah.
Were so hot.
Really?
Like the hottest you could possibly ever have.
So I'm learning that tomatoes, I've always tried to do tomatoes, and I think they're just very tough to grow because they get attacked by all the different
split the heat.
Yes. My squash and zucchini are really good, but I've never done like a jalapeno or anything. I'm doing green peppers, which I love.
Me too. Yeah.
But I wonder why they were so hot.
The salsa garden. And so,
that's a great idea.
Yeah. So that's why we had them, but they were the hottest peppers ever.
I wonder what made them so hot.
I don't know. I mean, they were just like a basic plant.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh.
Well, I'm bringing you some zucchini. Okay. That story reminded me though, I read a thread this week on some social and it had me cracking up. It was, and you might have seen this, it was probably on Mama Drama. What situation is embarrassing for no reason? And people had on there like standing in line or wearing a winter coat or, these things that are like passing somebody in a car and then pulling up beside them at a stoplight. Like just random things. That's embarrassing for me. Like going to a new person's house and knocking on their door. That's embarrassing. I don't know why.
It's uncomfortable. Like it's like the anxiety of it.
Yes. Yeah. So I 100% would feel sketchy. She was trying to be a good person by doing that because that already makes me feel like, do we knock? Which door? That too. Which door do we go to? Because some people are like back door people or front door people. Which one? All that kind of stuff gives me anxiety.
Yeah, I know. But even sometimes people I do know, if there's going to be people I don't know there.
Yeah.
I used to be social. Like, I'm not social anymore.
Yeah.
And I just have a hard time being, I don't know, like as I get older, I just get more social anxiety, I guess.
I too. And I get anxiety about new places, especially like restaurants that I've never been to before. If I'm like, I don't know where the bathroom is. I don't know. Do we tell them our name? Do we seat ourselves? All those things. Do I pay here? Do I pay at the cashier? And some places we go to, sometimes you pay at the table and sometimes you pay at the cashier. Like, it is just too much for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you 100%. Because the older I get, the more anxiety I have.
And we probably are just overthinking things. I'm sure that's what it is. Like, they're not big deal things, but in our minds, we make them big deal things. Yeah. The little things that get me all stressed out.
If I don't know people that are going to be somewhere, like, like full on anxiety attack in the car.
Or if I only know the host, I'm like, well, the host is going to be busy. And if I don't know anybody else, and
I'm bad at small talk. If I don't know you, I can do so awkward.
But it's so stressful.
I am so awkward.
You know what I hate? And it's not that I don't like the people. It's just, so going to Brian's work functions, when I know a lot of them now, but especially when I didn't know them, and then they start talking work talk that I don't know the people that they're talking about who's pregnant or who's got a promotion or whatever. It's so what's the word? Like, just excluding to people. And they don't do it on purpose. That's just what they have in common and what they want to talk about. And I've gotten to know some of the people and they're great now. But like, when you don't know the people and you're just like, I want to be home in my PJs anyway. It can, so uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm so awkward. I'm like so socially awkward now.
I've gotten worse.
Well, Diddy news. He was found guilty only on 2 charges. So I
cannot believe it.
Yeah, that was some trash. But he could face up to 20 years in jail for the charges that he did get found guilty on.
Well, is it 10 years per charge? So if they run them, is that concurrently? If they do them at the same time?
They could, or they could
do them individually or a lower.
Yeah. So they said up to 20 years is what he could. He's not going to get that.
I guess it depends on how they decide all those pieces.
So after they read the verdict, Diddy's attorneys were trying to get him released that day on bail or whatever until sentencing. And the judge was like, well, each side, please write me a letter. I'll review them today and we can. And so he said no. Like, he was like, yeah, no, we're good.
I feel like he gave them like, okay, everybody go home and write an essay, 500 words, no double spacing.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not even done anymore. Okay, so do you have some of the excerpts?
No. But so Diddy's lawyers are requesting 2 years in jail with time served.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, you're not even getting bail. So.
Yeah.
But sentencing isn't going to be until October 3rd now.
Okay.
So we have until October 3rd to find out.
I saw something where they were like, he's doesn't have his passport. Oh,
and then like he was doing all the theatrics.
Yeah.
Pray Jesus and all this crap in the
after the sentencing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a bum.
Yeah. I cannot believe that.
Have you ever been to Hendersonville?
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay.
But I keep seeing these like around Charlotte and North Carolina, South Carolina, places that people are visiting on all the socials. And this dude goes to Hendersonville and he's like, I don't know what is up with Hendersonville. And he said, if you have ever been here, why are there, did you see the big concrete legs that are spread? It's supposed to be Marilyn Monroe's legs, but in the center of the legs that stick out of the ground that are like spread, like
in her position,
is like a red berry bush. So this dude is like, this is wildly suggestive.
Yeah.
They're like 20 feet tall legs.
Picturing Patch Adams. You see the movie? Oh, where they had big paper mache legs?
No.
In the gyno OBGYN, when he was trying to like make medicine fun and he was like making them walk through the big ginormous legs like they were up in stirrups. Do you have a picture of the legs? That's kind of how the Patch Adams thing is. Oh my gosh. Why? I thought...
And they're made out of concrete. Like,
I thought you were talking about Marilyn Monroe legs, like the picture of her over the grate where her dress is blowing and she was standing up.
No.
I didn't realize.
Like on the ground with your
with your knees bent,
like you're in stirrups. Yes, gynecologist.
Yes,
that's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like you're in stirrups.
Yep.
Yeah,
reminiscing.
Yeah, and the arch that you walk through to get to the center is reminiscing. Reminiscing what?
Right.
And then there's a little trailer right next to it.
Oh my God, that's so random.
Like, look. Is that somebody's home right next to
it? Are those shoes?
Yeah, that's across the street.
And it's not like it's the home of Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, no, I don't know. And then there's a garter belt on the one leg. Yeah, it's super weird. So Hendersonville, I don't get it.
100% don't get it. I want to know the backstory. So if you know, let us know. Because it is weird.
Super weird.
Super duper weird, yes.
So I got stuck down the rabbit hole of this.
What? No way.
The MK Ultra files.
What'd you find?
One night. And so there's 149 subprojects under the MK Ultra.
Really?
Yeah, 149 projects that were done.
I didn't realize there was that.
Me either. But the weirdest one was called Operation Midnight Climax.
Okay.
And the CIA set up brothels in San Francisco and New York where workers lured men into the apartments that were rigged with one-way mirrors. The men were dosed without their knowledge of LSD and then were observed in secret to study their behavior under those circumstances and the vulnerability under the influence. And it was all tax funded.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is crazy pants.
Right?
That is crazy.
Mind blown. Oh, then I kept going down this awfulness of our government. And MK Ultra's unholy cousin, Project MK Often.
Oh, geez.
Which never, ever heard of this. This one's got witches, demons, and full-on psychic warfare. And it's not fiction. And it's declassified.
What?
So this was launched in the late 1960s by the CIA's Office of Research and Development. Its mission was not just drugs, which mainly was MK Ultra. Mm-hmm. They did a lot of drugging people without their knowledge to see what would happen. This was exploring the supernatural for use in intelligence and psychological warfare.
Oh my gosh.
Real life occult consults with the Church of Satan, like the head of the Church of Satan, witch covens. All of the things.
I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah. So they consulted with astrologers, psychics, voodoo priests, Satanists, mediums, and self-proclaimed witches, and were brought in to test whether the paranormal could be weaponized. Their goals were, could they influence behavior with rituals, predict the future using astrology, trigger fear or mental breakdowns through occult symbols? Could black magic be used to mentally destabilize foreign targets?
It's crazy how we went from burning them at the stake.
Yeah. According to some sources, they worked with members of Anton LaVey's Church of Satan, invited voodoo practitioners to consult on psychological operations, and conducted drug experiments while monitoring for things like astral projections or possession.
What?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Government funded.
Yeah, so not just like LSD.
Right. Tell you what, let's round up the biggest, baddest voodoo priestess, astrologers, Satanists.
Could you imagine being in that room?
Oh, not at all. I don't think there's enough holy water in this world.
There was no priests invited.
No. I would not want to be involved in that. That's one that, I'm really nosy, and there's a lot of things that I want to, I'm just fascinated by a lot of things. Not that
it blew my mind.
What, the government funded part, or all of it?
No, that they were trying to weaponize, spiritual warfare. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't surprise me, but it did.
I mean, where does one go to round up these? In the 60s.
No clue.
Are they showing up in their CIA, like the black suits and, excuse me, looking for...
Can I talk to your manager? I don't know, but there's your wowza for the day. That is a whole segment every week on the CIA stuff I find.
I don't know if I want to know that or not. I mean, like I said, that nosy part of me does. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all that kind of stuff scares me though.
Are you ready for Am I the A-hole?
Sure. Okay. Am I the a-hole? Asked the neighbor to move their little farm stand because people are stealing from my garden.
You'll relate to this.
I can relate to this. Before anyone says, just build a fence, we can't afford it right now. And no HOA. My neighbor set up one of those pantries farm stands where people can take what they grew in their garden, pantry stuff, donated stuff, etc. In theory, it's a great idea, and especially in a time where life in America sucks and people are struggling to make ends meet, my family included. Okay, get that. Mm-hmm. The problem, people started coming into my yard to pick things in my garden. I've put up signs saying not to do it. I installed rabbit fence around the garden. I've angled a tarp so you can't see what's there from the road. People just hold their kids over the fence to pick tomatoes or beans or jump it.
What?
I ended up getting into an argument with the lady over it. I yelled, "Hey, stop, those are not for you to take." She told her kid to move faster and then tried to run away. I caught up to her and asked what the F her problem was. And she turned it into, "How dare I swear in front of her child? Why am I so angry? Why am I really that upset about a couple of tomatoes?" I said, "Okay, time out. Tomatoes are hard to grow." Yeah. We've already covered this. Okay. I said, "I am upset that you're stealing from me." The next day, I approached my neighbor. I asked if I could maybe help move it to the other side of their driveway so it's next to the other neighbor's house. They don't have a garden out front. They said, at least not until the end of the season. I asked if they could make larger signs, talk to people, just do something. They were like, "Can you really not afford to share?" I said, "They aren't taking my zucchini." Let's talk about the zucchini. Because they're starving. They're taking my tomatoes. They're taking my tomatoes because they want them. They said that I'm going to have to learn to live with it for now, and we can talk about a solution together that will benefit the whole community after. Mm-mm. I said, I do not care about a solution that benefits the whole community. I care about a solution that stops people from stealing from me. So last night it happened again, man in his 50s. I sprayed him with the hose. He started yelling at me, and after a minute or so, the neighbor came out yelling at me too. People have posted on the neighborhood board to be careful if they come because I'm an a-hole. The neighbor says I'm scaring people away from a community resource. I told him I'm going to continue until he does something about the effing thieves who think they're entitled to my garden. I feel like I'm losing my mind here. Am I the a-hole for asking them to move it? Am I the a-hole for being pissed off that people are stealing from me? This is food for my family.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No, I'd be mad and...
Oh, I'd be livid.
It'd be like no trespassing signs.
That's what I was going to say.
Everywhere.
Like, consider this your warning.
Yeah.
I like the hose idea.
I do.
And that might hurt if you get on a jet. Yeah. No, yeah, I would definitely do no trespass. I mean, he shouldn't have to do it. The other people should take some ownership of what they created.
And the whole do something to benefit everybody, it's just nice in theory, but you give a little bit and people want to take all.
Point in case.
Right.
And I mean, some of us are really struggling to just take care of our families. Yeah. Like feeding everybody. I wish I could do it, but okay. So first off, thanks for the responses. I got some good ones. I'm happy that so many of you live in places where the cops would do anything about this, but this isn't the reality I'm living. Cops here would not give a crap if I sent them a video of someone picking from my garden. They would laugh in my face. Be thankful you live in a place where the police are useful. Ouch. It looks like signs are the best option for now. Going to make some signs indicating heavy use of pesticides and repeating that they are stealing food from the mouths of hungry children. I don't know why the signs we already have are not enough. Maybe more will help. I'm sure they won't. We'll also scour Craigslist for free fencing or similar items. Hopefully that pans out.
I didn't know Craigslist was still a thing.
I didn't mean there. I had no idea. I feel like it's all shady, dirty stuff.
Me
anyway.
too.
Free fencing might mean something else on Craigslist.
But listen, you want to get some petty revenge on somebody, you can list like a free TV.
Oh, yeah.
With their phone number.
Good point. Good point.
Be some good petty revenge.
Good point.
No, you're not the a-hole, and I love your hose idea.
100%. And I mean, I guess the signs are the best options. It doesn't matter in my mind it's terrible that they're stealing the food from mouths of hungry children, but that's not the point. The point is it is not theirs to take.
Exactly. And they just feel entitled.
Yes. Yeah. To just do it. I want to know where he is.
You didn't say.
Yeah. I probably don't want to know. It probably pissed me off. No, you're not the a-hole, dude.
Absolutely not. All right. Well, if you're not our bookies, it is time for y'all to leave. I mean, you're welcome to stay, but if you don't want to listen to our review, peace out. We love you.
Learn to read. Yep.
All right. So this week and that is not how the audiobook, it was not Benoit.
No, it wasn't Benoit. It was what you said.
So we read You by Charles Benet, according to how the audiobook reader pronounced it. So we're going to go with that. No fancy pants here.
Just regular pants.
Good old jeans.
Yeah.
All right. Told in rare second-person voice, You by Charles Benet is a tense, psychological, gripping YA novel that plunges you into the unraveling life of Kyle Chase, a once promising teen now drifting towards a tragic end where every bad choice brings him closer to the point of no return. I did not like how, I guess, I don't know if it was the audiobook reader or it was like the verbiage that was used. It just, I don't know. It
didn't flow.
It was annoying to me.
Well, I didn't like this book. I was very thankful it was short.
Me too.
I didn't like it either. I felt like I really do think it was the narrator, like the enunciation was off. Something about it didn't jive with me. And I just didn't like the book.
Yeah.
I didn't like the characters. I especially didn't like the dude that wore the suit. Forgot his name.
Zach.
Yeah. Did not care for him at all. Even before the end of the book. How did you feel?
Well, okay, my notes.
Yeah.
Because I had feelings. I didn't care for the book. It was not my favorite at all. His parents were horrible. He had no chance at redeeming himself through his parents' eyes. None at all.
Zero.
They decided he was bad and just go to the side till you can get out of the house.
Yep.
They did not give him a chance whatsoever. The little sister was the light of his life. And when she said, I want to be like Kyle, and the mom was like, no, we already have one, that's enough, or something like, put him down, and he overheard it. That broke my heart.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh.
Yeah.
No wonder why he was so angry.
Right.
If you're being told all the time how horrible you are.
And no wonder he just kind of gave up.
Yeah.
Because when you start to believe it.
Yeah. Zach is a pure psychopath.
100%. I didn't see it coming at first.
I
just thought he was weird.
Befriends people just to find out what their weakness is and then to take that weakness and destroy them. That's his sole purpose.
Right. He needs to be checked out.
And I wonder what he told everybody after, like what his story was.
Right.
Or did he just like dip out? Because it just ended it. They didn't say.
I know. It was very unsatisfying.
And so I wonder if he just dipped out and
moved on to his next victim.
I wasn't there.
Right.
Dude's sitting there with a pair of panties.
So some stuff caught me. Like they kept referring to the injury and you want to know what that is. But it was very anticlimactic, I felt like. Like I wanted more pomp and circumstance almost. Like I don't know. It was almost dry. I wasn't getting a lot of the emotion out of it. I felt bad for Kyle, really bad for Kyle.
Me too.
Like you said, his parents weren't fans of him. And he knew that he had made a lot of poor choices. Starting back from when he didn't get into the school, which was, started the downward spiral. But like he knew that he could do better than he had done. I hated it. It was depressing.
But, he had made a comment about he had got sent to the principal's office the day before. So he didn't have the homework assignment. So he didn't get the homework assignment because he wasn't in class because he got sent to the principal's office for being late or something. And so he didn't have the homework assignment the next day. And it was just like a cycle. Like,
yep. 100%.
Wasn't able to get himself out of that cycle, even if he wanted to.
Right. There was not a way for him to. Nobody, and that made me sad too. Nobody was helping him catch up.
Right.
If there had just been a teacher who was like, you know what, this dude just needs an extra day. He needs he needs something. Let me do something. Have you ever read that poem? I didn't have a pencil or something like that. And it's talk about children that show up to school that don't have a pencil because they were running late. Their mama didn't have a car, so they didn't get breakfast. And like, it's just this whole series of things. And it's like, and I got in trouble at school because I didn't have a pencil kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just like these cycles that are so detrimental.
Yeah.
That sometimes you just need one good thing to get you out of them.
Yeah. And he thought that Zach was going to be that one good thing.
He did.
Being invited to the parties. And Zach became a little bit popular and he's like, yeah, I'm in with the cool kid now.
Right.
And it just
totally was not.
Right. He just set out to destroy people.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Crazy weird.
Yeah. And the fact that Kyle was so in love with Ashley. See, the first chance she got, she hopped in bed with Zach. And Kyle ends up dying because he's trying to save her honor, basically.
Yep.
Which is so sad.
Very sad. Very sad.
Did you know that the author was actually a high school teacher?
No. They probably had a lot of insight to the behaviors. I wonder if they were based on real characters.
No. I thought that was interesting.
That is very interesting. I did not know that.
What would you rate it?
Oh. Like 3, maybe?
Yeah.
And one of the pros was it was short?
Yeah. The idea of it being very realistic as far as the hole you dig yourself in at that age.
And the point of view.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. I mean, it was different, but I didn't mind it. But yeah, just the way things snowball can,
So I think like, depending on where you're at in life, it would be a good kind of learning thing, but not really because he never got himself out of it.
No, like there's not like a turnaround point. I've always wanted to read one of the books like this where it's like, okay, you can choose the path the character takes. So, if you would have done X, Y, or Z, you can, build your own book off of it. But yeah, no, it was depressing to me.
Yeah. Well, it's over.
It's over.
And we are on Z.
Yay!
So, Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckham.
Benoit.
I was like, what? Is our next book. And it's the first book in that series.
Okay.
You've been selected to attend Zodiac Academy, where your star sign defines your destiny. If you're one of the Fae, elemental magic is in your blood, and apparently it's in ours. As twins born in the month of Gemini, we're a rare breed, even in this academy of supernatural a-holes. Changelings were outlawed hundreds of years ago, but I guess our birth parents didn't get the memo, which means we're totally unprepared for the ruthless world of the Fae. Air, fire, water, earth. No one has ever harnessed all 4 of them until we arrived, and it hasn't made us any friends so far. As the rarest elements ever known, we're already a threat to the 4 celestial hares, the popular vindictive bullies who happen to be some of the hottest guys we've ever seen. It doesn't help that they're the most dangerous beasts in the academy and probably on Earth too. Our fates are intertwined, but they want us gone. They've only got until the lunar eclipse to force us out, and they'll stop at nothing to succeed. We never knew we had a birthright to live up to, but now that we do, we intend to claim our throne. We can't expect any help from the faculty when it comes to defending ourselves. So if the dragon shifters want some target practice, the werewolves want someone to hunt, and the vampires fancy a snack, then we have to be ready. But we've been looking out for each other for a long time, and fighting back is in our blood.
That sounds really good.
It does.
Some mystical creatures. These aren't scary mystical creatures to me, though.
No.
Like werewolves and stuff don't bother me.
Yeah. No, this is like...
Don't bring spirits into it.
A mystical high school of bullies.
Yeah. Is it The Awakening?
Yes.
And that... Okay. The Zodiac Academy. It's going to be good.
So that is our next book.
I can't believe we're at Z.
We are.
I read a couple of tearjerkers this week. Don't do it.
No. I continued on with our author that did the Unhoneymooners.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm digging her books. They're kind of light and easy.
Yes.
Just...
Yes. Good.
Does not bring me down any further.
Yeah. No, I read one, and it was If I'd Been With Him or something like that. And YA, romance, whatever, all the things ends tragically. And then there's a next book, and I was like, this has got to like come full circle and make it better. Did not.
Have you watched the We Are Liars yet?
Oh no.
That's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And it's based off of books. And I read the books years ago.
Okay.
By the last episode,
yeah.
But it's so good.
Yeah. Okay. When We Were Liars?
Yeah.
Or We Were Liars?
We Were Liars.
We Were Liars. Okay. I'm making a note.
And then I think I sent you another one. Must have been my sister. It was on Netflix. And that was also based off of books. It was What If?
Okay.
So the girl is a researchist and she found a way to cure cancer.
Okay.
Or she was like figuring out how to cure cancer. And so she gets funding from this woman. But the deal was the lady had to sleep with her husband for one night.
Oh.
In order to get and it unravels like this whole
situation.
Chaos.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
Okay.
That's on Netflix.
Okay. We were liars and What If. Well, I'm wrapping up Gossip Girl. I'm like finishing season 4. So I think I'm almost done.
Isn't there a lot more than that?
I don't know. I was hoping there was only 5.
I don't think so.
Wait, Gossip. Yeah, that's the right one. I don't know why I keep mixing that up with Gilmore. Anyway.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. We love you guys.
Thank y'all. Tell some people.
Please.
Come back, bring a friend.
Love you.
We love you. Bye.
Bye. All right. That wraps up another episode of This Is My Circus. If you survived this episode and somehow still like us, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, share it with your friends, or just send us caffeine.
And don't forget, you can join our VIP circus crew for the full video version of each episode. Also, exclusive bonus content, access to merch, and so much more.
Until next time, keep the drink strong, the books coming, and the kids only mildly feral.
Because this is our circus and these are our monkeys.
Love ya!